So racism will always exist. It has always existed. Tribalism has always existed. It will continue to exist. But that doesn't mean that we don't fight it. And also one thing is that did not stop the non-Arabs from advancing the deen all over the world, whether they were Africans, Persians, or Romans. It did not stop non-Arabs from advancing the religion throughout the world. And this is actually, subhanAllah, a great testimony to the universality of Islam, that within 100 years, it wasn't even recognizable to the Arabs anymore, because all of the scholars were non-Arabs. All of the great people in the Ummah, or a great majority of them, were non-Arabs. They were Persians, they were Africans, they were of all different races. And this was unheard of in that context, in that world context. Why? Because back then, all of the Romans were Christian, all of the Persians were Zoroastrian. Like there was this concept of a race being attached to a religion. There was really no such thing as a universal religion back then. So it did not stop the non-Arabs from advancing the religion throughout the world. And obviously a testimony to that today is the fact that less than 20% of the Ummah is Arab. Less than 20%. Actually, statistically speaking, you're looking at closer to 15% of the Ummah is Arab. Okay? 85% of an Ummah, right, that had an Arab Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that claimed to have a universal message is a testimony to the universality of this message, that it spread throughout the world. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ. If you turn away, Allah will choose a different set of people. Now that doesn't mean that Allah will choose a different ummah, that Allah will send a new religion, a new prophet, if Muslims become terrible people. The Prophet ﷺ says that if the Arabs turn away from it, Allah will give it to the Persians. If the Persians turn away from it, Allah will give it to the Africans. If the Americans turn away from it, Allah will give it to the British. If the British turn away from it, it'll go all over the place. Allah doesn't need a race or a certain set of people to carry out the mission of His religion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it and honor whatever people are seeking guidance and seeking that glory through Islam and through faith. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it doesn't matter who takes it up. And this is also in Surah Al-Jumu'ah, the Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَآخَرُونَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ. And there is still a group of people that have not come yet. And the Sahaba asked the Prophet ﷺ, what does that mean? Surah Al-Jumu'ah. And the Prophet ﷺ, he put his hand on the shoulder of Salman al-Farisi, Salman the Persian. And he said that if faith was in the stars, in the highest stars of the sky, then the offspring of this man would find a way to reach it. So the Prophet ﷺ says that the non-Arabs will find a way to reach this religion and they will excel in it. And subhanAllah, look what happens. You have Hasan al-Basri, rahimahullah ta'ala, Sayyidu Tabi'in, the greatest of the second generation of Islam, was not an Arab, Hasan al-Basri. Mujahid, Sa'id ibn Jubair, Abu Hanifa, Al-Imam al-Bukhari, Al-Imam al-Tirmidhi, right? None of these are Arabs. Even Sibawayh is basically like the greatest author of the Arabic language in history, right? Or he authors the grammatical rules and so on and so forth. Sibawayh is not even an Arab. So the fact that the religion was grasped by people of all different races is a testimony to it.